Hello everyone, I'm here today because the Dublin Literary Award winner is going to be announced on the 19th of May, so not so far away. And I have read all the 6 books in the shortlist, so I wanted to talk a little bit about them and let you know my thoughts on them. So the first one is At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop. This one was also the winner of the International Booker last year, and so I read it then. And I have a review for that I will link somewhere. But yeah, this one for me was it's a difficult one because I know a lot of people love it and it hit very hard to them. For me personally, it didn't. I understand that there's some objectively good things about it and it has a lot of merit, but I just found that the book had a lot of brutal scenes and it felt very claustrophobic, which I guess it was trying to do and it did successfully. I just think that there was not much more to the book than the feeling of being claustrophobic and being brutal. There was not a lot of substance to it other than those emotions. There was not a lot of thought and discussion, let's say. So it was not my favorite, but I know a lot of people like it. So yeah, I guess that's why this is in the list. The next one is Nopimeng, The Cure for White Ladies by Leanne Betasamosake Simpson. And this one is native Canadian book, Aboriginal Canadian. And it's almost poetry. It's one of those books that it's like the language is very poetic and it has some chapters that are a couple of sentences. Some of them are a paragraph. Some of them are a little bit longer, but overall it is a very poetic, well-written book, and it follows several characters that are all Aboriginal from Canada and discusses how they live and what troubles they face, but it does it with a dignity that I haven't seen before. I think it's the book that I would have wished There by Tommy Orange to be. It has a lot more soul and a lot more dignity than that one, and also the writing is just beautiful, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'm very glad that it was shortlisted so that I would read it. I was really impressed by this one. Also, it obviously reads really fast because it's there's a lot of blank space in the book. But yeah, I would really recommend, and I will be very happy if it wins this prize. I think it deserves it, and I think it will give it a lot more exposure than it has had so far, which it would be a very good thing. The next one is Remote Sympathy by Catherine Chigdy, and this one is the story of several people around a concentration camp in I guess it's the 40s in Germany. So we follow mainly one man that married a Jew woman, and eventually ended up in the camp. And then we follow also the main people that we follow is this family, and the man is officer in the concentration camp, and we focus on the wife of this man, and the feelings that she has towards the camp and moving into the camp, and the way that he treats prisoners, because they had some prisoners working in their house. So the way they treat them, the way they think about them, the way she feels about her son growing up there. And we also briefly see what the people of the town next to the camp think about all of this. And there are events, I think it will be spoilery to say exactly what happens, but there are events that happen related to this woman in which she finds herself needing help from people in the camp, and we see how that dynamic changes to a certain extent. And I think what the book is trying to do is to try to explain to us um, why people got up in Nazi ideology and how they justify it to themselves what they did. Um, and yeah, so for me, it's difficult to talk about this book because when I was reading it, I found the writing was good, and I thought that the narrative was very compelling. I wanted to know what happened to the characters, but at the same time, it always felt very uncomfortable to read about these people that were basically Nazis. Um, and in a way, I think the book is trying to humanize and romanticize the Nazis. I guess it's okay to humanize the Nazis to a certain extent, but they still did horrible things, and they did knowingly. Um, and the way that they are trying to justify it to themselves is not right. And I'm not sure if the book is successful at showing that despite all of this humanization, they're still horrible people. They were still Nazis. They still did horrible people to not only Jewish people but other groups of people as well, gypsies, Jehovah's Witnesses, gays, you name it. And yeah, I think that I didn't like the message of the book. I didn't like the way that it was trying to do that. So even though I did want to know what happened, and that's what kept me reading, I didn't think that this book was doing something good. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I felt about the book. So, yeah, I'm not sure I would recommend this to people. I don't think so, and I also don't think it would win. I do think it has literary merit, and I would be interested to see what else this author publishes, because also the author is from New Zealand, and I would like to see something about New Zealand that she wrote. This had nothing to do with it. It could have been written by any person from anywhere. So yeah, I might be interested in what else she has published, but yeah, this one I don't think it's one that should be praised that much, just because of the way that it treats very sensitive topics. So the next one is The Art of Falling by Danielle McLaughlin, and this one is about a couple with a daughter. They're married and they have a daughter, and at the beginning of the book we find out that the man has cheated on the wife with their neighbor, and who is the mother of the best friend of their daughter. So it is very difficult for the whole family, not just because he cheated, but also because these are people that they are going to continue to see in their lives, and the daughter of the family has to grapple with the fact that her best friend's mom has cheated with his father, and that the two mothers don't want to see each other, obviously. So we have that aspect of it. We also have the fact that the mother works in a gallery, in an art gallery, and there is this controversy around a certain piece that they want to show from this dead artist. There's a woman that claims that piece has the authorship of that piece is not completely clear, and there's also a lot of mystery and controversy around that. And then there is also this young man that comes into their lives that is the son of this woman's best friend. So this woman had a best friend, and she had a son, and then she killed herself. And this young man and his father come to the area, and they develop a relationship with the family, and that also brings its own set of problems. And for me, I normally don't particularly like books about art. I think they are often kind of pretentious, and I find often that not necessarily all artists, but the artists that are portrayed in novels are very full of themselves all the time, and very unaware of the rest of the world. So I don't particularly like to read about art. I also don't particularly like to read about family drama, messy families just for the sake of messy. Um, and then also another thing that I found in this book that I really didn't like is that we are told many times that these are not nice people, that they have cheated and done a lot of things to each other, and they are just not nice people. But we are told that, but in the actions that we see, we don't see that much. I didn't, for example, there is no discussion why this woman accepted to continue being with her husband after she found he was cheating. We also don't have any knowledge of why she acted how she acted in her gallery or towards this boy that comes and his father. We don't. There is a lot of things that we are told, but it doesn't come across as the actual feeling in the page. It doesn't. It doesn't reflect on the characters. So for me, that the characters were not built in a way that justify all of the actions that cause all the messiness. And yeah, I don't think it was very successful. I'm not sure why this was shortlisted, to be honest. I don't think it was particularly good. I guess the writing was good enough. I kept reading, and at some point I finished the book, so I guess it was not unbearable, but I don't think it was anything special. I don't think it was particularly well constructed, or the characters being particularly fleshed out. So I don't really know why this is shortlisted, and I honestly don't think I can recommend this to people. The next one that was shortlisted, though, I was very happy that it was shortlisted, and it's The Art of Losing by Alice Senator, and this is translated from the French. I read this a long time ago. I got a proof copy from NetGalley, and that's how I read it, and I made a review of it, so I will link it somewhere. So this one is kind of a multi-generational story of well, we have the grandfather of the family moved from Algeria to France, and then we see the father and the daughter, and how this move affected them, and what is their idea of home, what is their idea of their Frenchness, and their nationality, their identity, national identity. It talks a lot about that, and the different ways that each of them reacts to how they are treated in France, but also how they feel inside, and like what their roots are, what the roots they feel they are. And I thought it was really well done. I like the writing style, but I also think especially the conversations around what is home and what is your nationality, and what it means to be from two places in a way at the same time, and how that affects the way someone behaves and someone develops. I thought it was really powerful, and yeah, I really liked it. As I said, I read it maybe a couple of years ago, so my memory of it is not the sharpest, but I really enjoyed it, and I would love to see this win as well. I think it would deserve it. And then the last book in the shortlist is The Death of Vuji by Akweke Emesi, and I read this I don't know, maybe last year. and I liked it. I have liked everything that Akweke and Messi has written. I don't think this is their strongest work though. This one is about a boy that is gender fluid in Nigeria and how that affects his life and the way that people treat him, basically. And there is, obviously, as the title says, Vivek Oji is dead, and we see that at the beginning of the book. And then we go kind of back into the story of how he died. And there are several people that are strong characters in the book, so, and we kind of see the life of Vivek Oji from their perspective. So we have the cousin that it's he at the beginning he's a bit of a bully, and then we've discovered that the reason why he's a bit of a bully is because he also is grappling with his own gender identity and sexuality. We also have the mother of Vivek Oji, and well, all of these characters give an idea of who Vivek Oji is and how he what kind of person he was, and beyond his gender identity, which I think it was very successful at doing. I just felt that I was not always connected to the story and to the characters, and especially Vivek Oji. I didn't feel like I connected with the characters as much as I connected with other books that this author has written. So even though it was a good book, I think objectively, I was a bit disappointed just because I have loved other books of this author more than this one. But yeah, that's a personal choice. So I am happy that this one is in the shortlist. It would not be my personal winner, but I wouldn't also mind if it won. So yeah, those are all the books in the shortlist of the Dublin Literary Award. Let's see what the winner is actually. But yeah, for me, Nopiming and The Art of Losing are my two favorites. But yeah, let me know which one would be your favorite to win this prize. Let me know if you have read some of these books or not. And until next video, bye!